The coach on behalf of a player is no crime in itself. Dara made the mistake of offering this favor in exchange for money, an act bordering on influence pen. A sum of 4,000 cedis was handed to Dara, although he neither readily nor directly accepted it. He directed that a bribe be given to an acquaintance of his. Confirming that he had used his position to make money unethically. Samazaga, meanwhile, was not called up for the Black Stars. Suffice to say, Dara never returned the money either. Dara's conduct became more questionable when compared to that of his colleague at the airfield, Kuku Iya. Iya, a lawyer, is a member of the GFA's executive committee and the management team of the Black Starlets. When approached by Tigers for him to influence the club for a player into the Starlets, Iya was clear about his principles.
They will tell you that I only wish the best for the team, and I always tell them that the coach to go with his best foot forward. And it's not a question of the coach or this person is your player on the team, you might get automatic selection. But from what I'm seeing, if he doesn't also release his league, it means that this one has already been overtaken. You understand? So that tells you how high I reach him. It's all a question of competition. I don't know the reasons, because I think that it is a challenge there.
Unfortunately for Mr. Iya, and for unfortunately for Mr. Iya, that for his many football fans, that is not one shield by the one person, it's not one.
But why are they doing that?
The most, meet Kwesi Nyantakyi, the boss. If the Ghana football system you have experienced so far feels like a sophisticated mafia network, then Mr. Nyantakyi is its godfather. mysterious dawn, feared and revered, adored and abhorred. He became the president of the Ghana Football Association in December 2005 at the age of 37 and has since consolidated himself at the helm with smart political craft, serving 3 terms across 13 years, a run that currently makes him the longest serving football association supremo in the world. The lawyer and banker who hails from Wa in Ghana's Upper West region has been hailed for his achievements of overseeing Ghana's qualification to 3 consecutive FIFA World Cups in 2006, 2010 and 2014, but these feats seem to have been overshadowed by the decline in the quality of domestic football during the time.
There is one area Nyantakyi plus anybody in the management or whatnot have forgotten. If we don't have a good teacher, how do you get good students?
While his personal stock has risen significantly during his reign, with roles as WAFO president, CAF vice president, and FIFA council member, Nyantakyi's tenure has in recent years been plagued by allegations of dictatorship and lack of transparency.
I don't know. We say so we are
it wasn't a matter of out of context when the Transparency International, one of the most credible institutions, with the general public, contract that are signed for even club reps to know how much is involved becomes a thing of a state secret.
The transparency concerns with Nyantakyi's administration was aroused recently at an event to launch the sponsorship of the Ghana Premier League by Xylophone Cash. Seated with Nyantakyi at the Clash event was Nana Appiah-Mensah, CEO of Xylophone Group and Men's Gold Ghana. The struggling Ghana Premier League had entered its 3rd season without a title sponsor, and so the announcement of this partnership was a momentous moment for the fortunes of domestic football. Unfortunately, the event was marred by Nyantakyi insisting that the contract has a confidentiality clause, its details shrouded in secrecy, known only to a few people within the FA and Xylophone Cash.
The parties to the contracts are valuable as the one and then the GFA is affiliated clubs. The 2 parties are very much aware of the contract. I would like to get party or that's where the confidentiality lies. There's no peculiar to this contract.
I would have loved to hear, for instance, total amount of breakdown of how much clubs are going to get every year, so that no league year convinced.
When people get to know of the amount of money Germany is getting from the World Cup via the internet, and they cannot see the amount of money coming to the Ghana Football Association through the same internet or even walking to the offices because of proximity, then they start to lose trust.
In 2014, Nyantakyi and the FA were among many actors investigated by a commission of inquiry set up to look into Ghana's infamous participation at the World Cup in Brazil.
Yes, and I really appreciate the good work you're doing. The work of this commission will do a lot of good to Ghana football. Already it has cleared a lot of misconceptions, and my presence here will further clear more misconceptions. Because when you are in football, they think you are a thief, you are a criminal. That's the presumption. And you are presumed you are presumed guilty before you prove your innocence. My Lord, as a justice of the Court of Appeal, will you accept that? You will not, my Lord. I don't expect you to.
That same year, Nyantakyi was embroiled in an investigation of alleged match fixing by undercover reporters of the UK's Daily Telegraph and Channel 4.
An investment.
So, what about to any matches? Let's say there should be an experimental outcome.
Fantastic.
To see how
Yes.
you or
Yeah.
2017, Nyantakyi, who has previously described corruption allegations against him as useless talk and based on envy, pettiness and jealousy, announced that he was willing to give a 20,000 cedi reward anyone with evidence of corruption within his Ghana Football Association, either by referees or by himself and other officials.
Anyone who will come forward to report any corrupt practices. So if a referee is approached by a club official, we are encouraging them to report the club official. We are proposing a 20,000 Ghana cedi prize money for anyone who comes forward to report any case of bribery with evidence, not an allegation. You cannot just come and say, this man has gone to take a bribe. It's not enough. You must add evidence so that it will be credible. We can't throw good money away.
By that daring invitation, Mr. Nyantakyi played himself into a checkmate. Meet Abdullahi Al-Hassan, known to be a trusted right-hand man of Nyantakyi, called him the consigliere to the Godfather, what Tom Hagan was to Don Corleone. Al-Hassan, who people refer to as Abu, is a former footballer at an unusual age of 31. He is now an influential power player in Ghanaian football politics, serving as the president of the Football Association in Ghana's northern region. The role makes him the youngest member of the Ghana Football Association's powerful executive committee. Abu was here in a hotel room to meet a powerful businessman about prospects for investment in Ghana football. He was upbeat.
I'm a footballer myself. I played in Holland for 3 years, and I played in Belgium for 3 years. In total, I stayed in Europe for 9 years. The football fraternity, young guys, they supported me to stand for an election for taking over the entire Belgium in these 26 districts. So I'm currently the president of the Football Federation in the Northern Sector. So I serve, that gave me the opportunity to serve in the higher decision making in Ghana football. So I sit in the board. We are 22, and I'm one of the youngest among the 22 members in the Ghana Football Association.
The businessman wanted a meeting with Abu's boss, Kwesi Nyantakyi, and he knew he had come to the right man to lead him there. The businessman, through his company, wanted to sponsor Ghana's domestic football league. The offer was $15 million for 3 years, $5 million more than the amount the FA reportedly had for their last deal in 2014. Was Nyantakyi interested? The businessman wanted to find out. Abu later arranged a hotel room meeting between a rep of the supposed businessman and Kwesi Nyantakyi, with the goal of having the rep brief Nyantakyi about his boss, the businessman, and his proposal. This was the first step before ultimately setting up a meeting between Nyantakyi and the businessman. The rep in question, unknown to Abu and Nyantakyi, was an undercover tiger investigator. On the sponsorship of the domestic league, Nyantakyi revealed his plan to form a company to serve as brokers and managers of the deal. One that would earn commissions of between 20 and 25% of the sponsorship to be shared between him, Abu, and the businessman's rep.
Let him understand that we will form a company to be the agency. And that company will be responsible for ensuring that the benefits that the DFA comes are delivered. And then we will negotiate with JP. You will not pay, the JP will pay from the sponsorship amount. And the school money, we can charge 20%, 25%. Then amongst us, we agree that this person gets this money. So everybody should be sorted out. Then there will be peace. You understand?
On the document, on his side, for us to secure the deal this way, he pays a percentage to ensure that that particular things are met. The company that takes care of all the benefit that is promised to the sponsor. So he will pay 5% of the total sponsorship package. And then the 25% would excellent is also a very easy management because he has sitting down there. I will bring money to them.
Mind you, the businessman, as a potential investor, had approached the FA himself without the use of an agent. The company would later be revealed to be Namas, a mysterious entity fronted by Abu and conveniently missing any open link to Nyantakyi. Why so? A part of the GFA's Code of Ethics reads, officials are forbidden from accepting commission or promises of such commission for negotiating deals of any kind while performing their duties unless the presiding body has expressly permitted them to do so. Was Nyantakyi covering his tracks? Tiger's checks would later reveal the president's cleverness in such dealings. We found companies spanning various fields of operation that belong to him and are fronted by different individuals. Companies which he uses for deals to outwit the system. Back in the meeting, what was supposed to be a discussion about football investment suddenly took an unexpected turn.
I spoke to first of all, the president, Akufo-Addo, and the vice president of Obama, and then some of the ministers. We also help them in one way or the other. So I have a report. I'm going to anybody's house or his office. I do that. Even after they came, Akufo-Addo called me. He says he wanted to see how something like. Okay, sir. For him, it's like why I supported him more than anybody. I told him, he said that it's not a big thing at all. I know he's minister too. The minister again told me that if I want him to do a role anywhere in Ghana, that will bring honor to me. He can do it for me. Wow. I just need that. I need it. But he also told me that because I travel a lot, if I meet people who are interested in investing in the legal sector,
Nyantakyi, sensing prospects for more gain beyond football, pushed the discussion further.
It's going to cost money, but if you are ready to do it, you can have a meeting with the vice president, and then Kabul yesterday when I spoke to him, he made some suggestions. There is a man called Kwesi Nyantakyi. He owns Oman everything. He's criticizing the government, his own government. Wow. Yes. That's control everything. And because of the press he put into the campaign, he has too much of what they can call into order. They will be telling him when it's insulting them. After the president and the vice president should be more. Yes. Otherwise. So, you mentioned that, they want him to be a minister because of his contribution. He says he cannot be a minister. There is not a disciplined person to be a minister. He nominated somebody as a minister. Yes, Minister of Transport. The guy who is the SCM. That's the sport.
The president of the Ghana Football Association took off his disguise of political illusions and straightly displayed deep knowledge of Ghana's current political scene, boasting of his proximity to high-profile connections whom he could give the businessman access to at a price.
Expansion project for which is under the Ministry of Transport. They said that there is also the redesigning and remodeling and rebuilding of the trade fair site. They want to do it into a new concept which will involve
malls, shopping malls. Then there are these roads that we're talking about. Now, you know that the Bavia went to China to negotiate
for
$15 million from the Chinese government. Most of it is going to those. The money said that they're going to do 90 bridges. Bridges. You know the North well.
Nyantakyi, supposed to be a football administrator running a body FIFA insists should be autonomous from government influence, strangely displayed a deep knowledge of Ghana's current political scene, boasting of its proximity to key figures who he could give the businessman access to at a price.
To go to Burkina Faso now, when you get to Bouquet, you go to Tamale, you go to Boga, there will be a road from Bouquet through Saint-Domingue to Paris.
Wow, yeah.
And that place is a low-lying area. They are going to do bridges on the river. When there is nothing,
And across.
yes, they will do 90 bridges, you know. And the Chinese, for China finance projects, the contractors will be from China. And that local content will involve the supply of materials. And for each lot, they are going to be about $3 $150 million will be involved. That's for the supply of sand, chickens, gravel, etc., etc. I know this economics. So Gao told me, he said, my brother, if the man agrees to do certain things, that from tomorrow you will get all the contracts. That he should give money to the president if he's ready, and give money to the vice president. And that he says the minister of roads, and in Ghana, the minister of roads is always a close friend of the president. It is very they overpass, they inflate it. They overpass. And the basis for giving money to you is that, Mr. President, you have just won an election. You incur cost. This is something small to be very of cost. For the fact that the use of these properties to and the basis for giving money to you is that, Mr. President, you have just won an election. You incur cost. This is something small to be free of cost. And I know for a fact that he really sold his properties to do this election. And his family members, when you get close, you say, well, we incur cost. They're looking for money. That's why the money will land there.
Nyantakyi also suggested other powerful party names outside of government who needed to be roped into the bribery conspiracy to make it successful.
But I want to involve other people. Sure. I want Kennedy Japan to
Hey, Kennedy on here, Japan.
$3 million to the vice president, and $2 million to the minister of rules, and then the deputy minister who come together. They said that appearance with the one who has been million the two before they
He told the rep of the businessman that he would get all the contracts from tomorrow if he agrees to the plan, and that it was a promise he was willing to stick his neck out for.
This one, it's not like we are dealing with the president's mother or the president. We all know how these people suffer. If he does that, he has bought the system. I'm telling you, there will be we don't even know all the businesses in the system. The vice president or the president will say, okay, give me something here, money to me, and then just a telephone call. And all that they will tell the people is that these are the president's financiers. One is that you are a party financier, wherever you bow. Yes, if you can do it, if you can do it, I can put my neck down. I'm telling you. But we should not be left out in this thing. They don't make that happen. I would want it to be like we brought a man, so they should deal with us. Exactly. Whatever the man will go. Yes. That can take shape. Myself and shape and another father will be the only three people in the room. Whatever we have to say, we'll say.
Nyantakyi then mapped out another plan that would make sure that anyone seeking to do business with a businessman in Ghana would have to go through him and Abu. The rep said he would relay Nyantakyi's plan to his boss, the businessman, and later set up a meeting between the two to finalize a deal.
Everywhere you go is better. Everywhere you go, if it's entering the country, you need to be the president or whatsoever. Something like that. We should be number one from before we go into the construction business.
No, we do the two together. If he's ready to do it, we are in the meeting, they took what to come to. Okay.
I want to say this, the president didn't end it. For us to bring him to the president, the vice president, that was what president was saying. Kawu mentioned his own. Yes. But our own too has to come. No, but that's why we didn't ask them. That's why we should have them. No, I'm just saying this because when you go to who know how you do it, the influence of president is very important. I was trying to tell you, I mentioned that to you that there's nobody, president didn't say everything, but he has sponsored the party as well, so he is also a figure.
I will start meeting next week if it's available. Within a month, you will see the progress that you will be more
Kwesi Nyantakyi and the businessman finally met in the businessman's hotel room to conclude a deal. Nyantakyi was at his boastful best, re-emphasizing the $11 million bribery plan.
Your Highness, this is our president, Mr. Kwesi Nyantakyi, the president of Ghana Football Association, and also the first vice president of the CAF. Media partner for the meeting is a Chinese company called StarTimes, and they will also offer publicity in Asia, China, and India to your company. And we have about 500 radio stations in Ghana. We've already talked about your family, each of them NGO to go ahead and do securities projects for us to do. Then the second project is about business opportunities in Ghana. I wanted one of the ministers to come with me. It's my brother. But they have a festival on Saturday. So the president of the country is there. I can promise you that I can lead you to meet whoever is important in that. I'll get you to the president of the country, the vice president, and all the ministers that you want to do business with. Very, very important. Our country, we also have oil. Yes. I even discussed something with the vice president. Maybe you'll be interested. And I told him that my idea was for us to do a fertilizer factory. You know, the byproduct of gas can be used to do fertilizer. It's a very high capacity project. And when I told the minister, the project that you mentioned to me now, you talk about roads. And there are projects that they are looking for people to do BOT, build, operate, and transfer. There are roads in Ghana, they want to do that. Then we talk about the expansion. There is a big project for that. Also talk about the trade fair. They want to build malls there. And then he told me that when you come, we will look at other ministers and they will show you many other projects. You will then decide which one you want to do. So once we agree and you made the follow-up to Ghana to give the president of the vice president, the following day
From that crowded preliminary meeting, Nyantakyi was then granted exclusive audience with a powerful businessman in his inner room, with only the businessman's wife as a witness. Motivated by the close access and comforted by the privacy, Nyantakyi's guard lowered as he dropped even more startling details about his civic life as a politician.
We start with the Minister of Road and Deputy. I think that we can find some money for them. When we go, you and I just give them one and you give them money to personally. And I think that you can start with something small with your own discretion. Then, when you get the contract, take the contract, we can go back and give them more money. And then we take over the whole country. Yes, that's how we do it. I don't want you to be anyone. If you cannot I'm going $1,000 to this man to meet you. So you know that the money has come. But I can assure you, if you do that, when you get all that you want. And then you can I tell you what Cabo told me? He told me that if you want to get contracts in Ghana, that you should come and give money to the president, $95 million, the vice president, $3 million, then the minister, $2 million, the deputy minister, $1 million. So 5, 3, 8, 2, 10, So if you do this, you have no problem. I'm telling you. My brother, I who would lie to you, you have to.
The businessman was impressed. So impressed, in fact, that he doled out a rather substantial preliminary bribe of $65,000 to reward the Nyantakyi show of interest and offer of support. The president was then seen gathering the money into a gift bag. Ghana plan, this time critically sneaking in an extra $1 million as his and Abu's share, making $12 million in total.
I'll give you good advice. Here is my small brother. If you're able to give money to the president of the country, the vice president, I'm telling you, you're finished. This is 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11. You add another 1 million for us. 12. Get this person to Ghana to do so that we can start quickly.
Perhaps blown away by the weight of the businessman's fortune, Nyantakyi showed an unusual eagerness, almost to a servile degree, trying hard to ingratiate himself with the businessman. Could he be blamed? The president further implicated himself by admitting that he owns a local financial institution which could be used to launder the money into Ghana. Nyantakyi's proposed plans, as criminal as they were smart and elaborate. He had proved resourceful.
If we have to transfer to Ghana, then we have to find a company that will give it to us. That is not we have to find a company that we can transfer the money to, and it will not be a problem at all. That is not a big problem. I have a small financial institution that maybe we can use them.
This was a loaded businessman who meant business. With the opportunist in him awakened by the cold, hard cash, Nyantakyi encouraged the businessman to take him as a brother in a clandestine alliance which he claimed would lead to them eventually taking control of Ghana.
We'll do the MOU today and give it to you to him to sell. So we'll do 2 MOUs. One for the business, one for the sponsorship. 2 different today. Yes, I'll give to him. So tell him that he should also take me as his brother. Thank you. Take me as a brother. You can Google about me. I'm known everywhere. Let me tell you, maybe in future, maybe we will control Ghana in a way. If our man is going to be a candidate and we support him, and then it means I will be a politician. Maybe 2 years time I'll become a politician. So now that we know each other, we work together.
Then there was the profuse time use and God bless you with the unmistakable
God bless you.
One of the most powerful football politicians in the world had just practiced in private the misconduct that he has on countless occasions, publicly preached and sworn against, all in the name of money, the result of selfishness, greed, and a hunger for power, and signed instantly, even at the risk of missing his own flight to Accra, which he was by this time running late for. He meant business, swift and sharp business. Back in his hotel room, he quickly drafted what were supposed to be complex documents with the speed of lightning.
Sale boss mo ko abu ba